Alright, in this problem we've got a new operation here, and I'm just going to call it Philip, just for something to call it. It sort of looks like a Phillips head screw, so I'll call it Philip. So x Philip y is defined this way. So we take x and multiply it times 3 and add 7 times y. Alright, and the question is to figure out find the value of this equation. Okay, so we have 1 Philip 1, 2 Philip 2, 3 Philip 3, and so on, all the way up to 10 Philip 10. Add those all together. What do we get? So, well, one thing you could do is just start plugging in 1 and 1 here for both x and y. You get 3 plus 7, and when you plug in 2 for x and y, you get 6 plus 14, right? You plug in 3 for x and y, you get 9 plus 21, all the way up to 10, Philip 10, so that's 30 plus 70, all right? And you can see that that is 10, 20, 30, all the way up to 100, okay? Now, another thing you might notice, you might not have gone through and calculated each of those, because you might notice that if x is equal to y, which it is in every one of these cases here, then we can actually factor out the variable, and we get 3 plus 7, which is 10. So if x is equal to y, then we end up with just 10 times the x, or, x is equal to y, so we can replace y with x, and so we just get 10 times the number. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, all the way up to 100. Right? So, so you might not have noticed that, or you might have noticed that. Either way, you end up having to sum 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus so on, all the way up to 100. And this is just an arithmetic sequence where the common difference between consecutive values is 10. So you could add this up, or you could apply our little handy-dandy formula. There's a little trick to adding arithmetic sequences. You can actually, if I say this is, we'll call this S, and we can rewrite S as 100 plus 90 plus 80, and so on, all the way up to, or all the way down to 10. And you can see we're just going to get 110, oops, plus 110 plus 110 plus all the way up to 110. Right? So all we're doing is adding a bunch of 110s, but that gives us twice the value that we want. Okay? And so how many 110s are there? Well, we've got 10 sums here, so it's going to be 10 times 110, but we have to divide by 2 because we've added 2 of these sums together in order to get all these 110s. So that gives you 550. Okay. There's also a formula which comes from this idea of adding 2 of the sums this way. You take the first number plus the last number, you can see that here. First number plus the last number times the number of numbers and divided by 2. So it's first plus last times the number of numbers all over 2. Okay? And that gives you the sum for any arithmetic sequence. So that's kind of a handy trick to know. And so if you do that, you get 110 times 10 over 2, which is the same thing we got here. So our answer to this problem is 550.